Steve Smith has been forced to stand down as Australia's cricket captain. Cricket's governing body has also suspended Smith from the fourth test in South Africa, and our team, Nathan Templeton and Bianca Stone, are covering the fallout. Nathan, first to you. Steve Smith's reputation clearly in tatters with, as Brett said, calls to bring him home immediately.
Eddie, the entire team's image has been irreparably damaged. Steve Smith has been stripped of the captaincy, at least for now. David Warner has had the vice-captaincy taken off him for the moment. Now there will be investigation into who else was involved in this cheating plot. Steve Smith has said that the so-called leadership group planned it all. Now, that group also includes Mitchell Starc, Josh Hazlewood and Nathan Lyon. I know at least one of those players is furious that he's been dragged into this because he says he had nothing to do with it. There's also the question of the role of the coach, Darren Lehmann, who is also surely facing the sack after this disgraceful chapter. The Cape Town scandal, now Australian cricket's greatest shame. At the start of day 4, the Aussies took to the field, a team torn apart.
I wouldn't call it a wild or raucous booing, but there is a booing.
It's been a horrible 24 hours, to be perfectly honest.
A day earlier, cameras captured Cameron Bancroft using tape to tamper with the ball. The young opening batsman knew he was in trouble, but he wasn't acting alone.
The leadership group knew about it. We spoke about it at lunch, and I'm not proud of what's happened.
Coach Darren Lehmann appeared to radio a player on the sidelines to let the team know they'd been caught. Overnight, Steve Smith and David Warner were stood down as captain and vice-captain. In addition, cricket's governing body suspended Smith from the next test and fined him his entire match fee.
As a leader, you can't ask somebody to do something you're not willing to do yourself.
Bancroft was also heavily fined and issued 3 demerit points. He's free to play the final test, but his selection is uncertain.
How can our team be engaged in treating like this?
In a letter to fans, Cricket Australia boss James Sutherland apologised. "We are sorry," he said. "This behaviour calls into question the integrity of the team and Cricket Australia. We share your anger and disappointment." But that hasn't stopped the embarrassing headlines at home and overseas.
We're not respected around the world at the present moment. Things aren't right. How do we turn this around? And we've got to turn it around quickly.
I'm incredibly sorry for I guess, trying to bring the game into disrepute.
And things have got even worse this morning, if that's possible. Australia's just been bowled out for 107, suffering a record loss, so they're now 2-1 down in a 4-test series. We know that wicketkeeper Tim Payne is acting as the stand-in captain, but we don't even know which players might be left to play that 4th and final test. A lot of them may be sent home as this investigation continues. Eddie?
Yeah, really tough job for Tim Payne. Now, Bianca, the scandal is likely to disrupt the Sheffield Shield final in Brisbane. What more can you tell us?
Good morning, Eddie. It is a very real possibility that players playing here at the Sheffield Shield will be called over to play in South Africa. Just who that is depends on the exact fallout, but Queenslanders Matt Renshaw and Joe Burns are touted to go over. Both have played for Australia before, so they're logical choices. George Bailey, who plays for Tassie, is also another player who might get the call up to go over. It will be disruptive for the Sheffield Shield, which is being played here. They're in the final 2 days of play as of today. To pull players from the final of Australia's most prestigious domestic competitions is unheard of. The players themselves say they haven't been given the call-up just yet.
I haven't even really thought about it. Hopefully it's Renshaw and Burns and they both go tomorrow. That'd be handy, but I'm not sure.
That is one light moment at what has been a very dark time for Australian cricket fans. Eddie?
All right, thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Nathan.